Them 4 years you get, 4+ years, that is your grace period before you jump into the deep end of full on adulting. Yeah. Like the bills that are coming to the house, they are now yours.
We've shared a lot about our family, and one of the things we shared is that we have our youngest child is a freshman in college. And as some kids do, they have some difficulty adjusting to the amount of freedom that they have, to all the wild stuff that goes on in college. And for him in particular, I'll say that he's continued the trend of moving away from like our highest performer in academics to now being the most likely to end up at a party on a school night. And it's showing up in his grades.
That's happening.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm having an ongoing issue with him getting his things done on time, doing the things that are required to have a healthy, productive, profitable college career. Mm-hmm. And I'm not at all saying that you should not be partying, but there's currency in college, and that currency, that fuel that runs that thing, is your academic performance.
Yeah.
And that's why you get to stay. So he's been having some difficulty, and I'm having challenges working with him and getting him to hear the frequency of my voice when it comes to getting those things done. Yeah. We'll see how that goes. But you were having a conversation with your good friend Kisha the other day, and she said something that stuck with you that you repeated a couple times. What was it?
Yeah. I was just venting about, what he's going through, what he's doing, what he's not doing. And, I'm talking about how, the idea of him having to come home and not do his sophomore year or the, first semester of his sophomore year. I was like, you're jumping into the deep end, trying to be an adult for no reason. Mm-hmm. And she said, college is this grace period. She was so right. Like I had to write that down. I was like, God, like there are no better words spoken. Them 4 years you get, 4+ years, that is your grace period before you jump into the deep end of
full on adulting.
Yeah. Like the bills that are coming to the house, they are now yours. And the house, the apartment, it's yours.
Yeah.
Most of the money that you make at work doesn't go to the frivolous things you want to buy because you live in your parents' house. It goes to all of your bills. You know what I'm saying? And it's so much more than that. Just in speaking with Kisha, it was like all of us have issues, not just with, trying to juggle work and trying to juggle family and husband and kids and everyone's schedule. We're also trying to juggle our parents, you know what I'm saying, and what's going on in their lives. And it's a lot. So the idea that you are 20 nothing and thinking, you know what, I can do this. Let me just go ahead and jump into this deep water. I know how to swim. It's like you have absolutely no idea. You need to stay exactly where you are and do whatever it takes to stay exactly where you are for as long as you can.
There's a filter on your perspective, and it's because you went to college.
Yeah.
And other people didn't. Other people went to the military or went straight to work. I just want to point that out, that because you and I went to college, we see that as a
grace period.
As that grace period you're talking about, between being completely like child in your parents' house to then this Animal House with studying segment of your life, to then like adult stuff. That's not everybody's experience. And it doesn't have to be their experience either. But
true.
I think that the underlying thing that I definitely agree with is that we were watching the show about WeWork the other day.
Yeah.
It's a fictional recollection of, it's called We Crashed on Apple TV. Shout out to Jared Leto. He said in one of his pitches, he was talking to a college class. He was doing a pitch for VC investment. And he said, I'm older than most of you guys. And so let me give you some insight as to the future. He goes, he said will, but I'll say may, spend the rest of your life working to try to recapture what you have right now.
Yep.
And that speaks to that same energy, that age, that post-high school, pre-full-on adult is a time, it's a magical time where anything can happen.
It really is. And even when we think back, or when I think back to the times when we were describing college to our kids, our faces light up. Our memories light up. Like, you're going to have the best time of your life. And the idea that you could just leave it, whether by choice or not. If it's not by choice, well, it kind of is by choice, because you have made consecutive decisions that have gotten you to where now you have to leave school. But either way, ending up in the deep end, meaning I got to get up and go to work 9 to 5, whether I want to or not. Now I got to get a car. Now I got to get insurance. You know, like, the bills just start coming. One after the other, they just start coming. So I just think that this grace period, kids at that age, if you have the ability to go to college, take advantage of that grace period. You know, absolutely live it up, but make sure you are doing the work to stay in that grace period as long as you can.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. Yeah. And there's a part of my brain that objects. And that is that I don't believe college has to be the best time of your life. Up to that point, it probably was. It
doesn't have to be, but it was. At least for me, it was.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. So, like, if I accept that, that means it's all downhill from there. And that's not my experience. Like, I'm every day waking up, and every month and every year I'm waking up to do things that are like really the opposite of that. Like, this shit only gets better as I go. So,
but the work gets harder and longer too. So, like, yes, you can work hard and play hard, and it's fantastic. Absolutely love it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But the amount of work that you put in now, and it's not just the work. It is, like I said, it's not just about me and me juggling my business. It's also about juggling this household, juggling my 3 kids and their schedules whenever they needed to be juggled. And then also you forget, oh yeah, I have parents and they could be going through something. Like, you really don't have any idea of what's going on in somebody else's house until you reach out.
Right.
And talk to them, and then you realize it's not even just about my world. There's other stuff going on in other people's worlds that I probably need to be checking in on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm over here trying to juggle 8 plates, and I forgot there's actually 10 plates. You forgot about those other 2 plates over there. So I'm just saying, it's not just about work. There's a whole lot of things that are happening that as an adult, you have to manage all of that. Yeah. And as this 20-nothing, you don't have to manage all that. You just got to manage school. Just this right here.
I agree. And I think that applies in a very pronounced fashion to young people in college because they have that freedom.
Yeah.
And it continues to apply in life as we go on. There's a phrase in one of my workout groups, it could always be worse.
Oh, I thought you were going to say embrace the suck.
Yeah, that too, right? Yeah. But it could always be worse. So it's like, let me not take for granted what I've got right now. And for me, being far removed from college, it's like I still have to keep that gratitude and that attitude that says, you know, I got it good right now and I can act right now.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
whatever I can do right now to make my experience great and enter with like this gratitude mindset is going to make my appreciation for what I do have now, because I don't have arthritis, right? I don't have a single bad joint. I can squat, sprint, whatever you want, I can do it. Yeah, I can complain about some stuff. I'm not happy with the number of gray hairs I have on my head. But when I look at pictures from 5 years ago, I'm like, damn it, I had way less and I was still complaining, you know? So I agree. College can be like a grace period because it's such a pronounced time where you have left your parents' household. You have so much freedom. And you don't have to make decisions that put you into the adult trap.
Yeah.
But youth is wasted on the young, man. These guys have no idea.
Yeah. I think if you could, and something that you just touched on, if you could just wake up with gratitude.
Yeah.
I think that they would appreciate the state, whatever state that they're in, much better than how it's currently being treated.
Yeah. Maybe one of those people will hear this when they get older. You know, whenever this message hits you, it was true all along.
Yes, it was true all along.